Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Beauty and the Biohacker. We are two babes on a mission to help you become your most beautiful biohacked version of yourselves on the inside and out. My name is Rachel. I'm a board-certified aesthetic nurse specialist. I love helping people just look and feel good, and I've performed over 19,000 procedures. I'm an international clinical trainer on the topics of aesthetic medicine, aesthetic nursing, regenerative medicine, skincare, lasers, advanced injectables, body sculpting, the list goes on. I worked with some of the top celebrities out there as well, and from the whole spectrum. I work with people, retirees to tech moguls, on TV celebrities, and other just people who are on a mission to age well. And this podcast would not be complete. I'm the beauty side of Beauty and the Biohacker with my fabulous co-host, Katie Moore, who's the biohacker.
Yes, I am Katie Moore. My laundry list of resume does not quite compare to Rachel's, but I have been doing biohacking for 3+ years, and I have a YouTube channel, Katie Type A, where I do weekly product reviews on everything I'm testing out, from the Aura Ring to the OmniPemf device and the Halo Sport 2 electrical stimulation for your brain and sleep scores and all of these things. And so together, I really kind of try to bring some transparency and some awareness to some of these really cool gadgets in the space that can help you with your overall health and wellness goals and optimization for longevity and all the things that the biohacking community really stands for. So that's my mission, and I am just so excited to be joining Rachel in this podcast where we are going to dive into all the things beauty and biohacking and the science, and we're going to talk to some amazing people. So before we kick things off, let's just do a little bit of an introduction around ourselves and kind of how we got started. So Rachel, what got you interested in skincare in the first place?
I've been in the industry now for almost 10 years. And when I hit my mid 20s, I started to notice a couple fine lines, wrinkles, I suffered with acne. I still do in my mid 30s. And there's things that I have to continue to do to keep my skin looking on point. And yeah, I just also know with my skin type, I had a, atypical mole removed on my back. So my skin type is very prone to things like atypical skin lesions. And I have to work a little bit harder to protect my skin, because what happens is if our skin gets damaged, it can actually cause other issues inside the body, other diseases and things like that. So I got really fascinated with the science behind skincare, because I also have a background in Gen Chem, Organic Chem, and Biochem on top of my nursing background, because I actually was considering going to medical school and becoming an MD myself. So during the process of, doing my med school prerequisites, I started to work as an advanced aesthetic nurse to understand sort of the runnings of the clinic. And I really just kind of fell into my passion, helping people look as good as they feel and feel as good as they look. This is achieved with some pretty sophisticated at-home skin routines, dermal rolling, and I have a big thanks to Dave Asprey for bringing me on his podcast, Bulletproof, which is how Katie actually found me. And from that, a really cool story and connection developed over some pretty intense times in the world. So Katie, why don't you tell us how we met and first started hanging out?
Absolutely. Yeah. To Rachel's point, I was on a hike one day and I was like, ooh, this sounds like an amazing podcast on Bulletproof Radio, all about anti-aging and skincare tips. And I was so blown away by Rachel's interview and her transparency about stuff in the industry that I just reached out to her through Instagram. It was the beginning of some crazy times in the world. And, people were not, connecting in person, but they were connecting online. And I said, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I do product reviews and I'd love to collaborate sometime in the future. And like at this point, I was like, Rachel's really big and I have no chance of like, her actually responding. She got back right away and said, well, why don't we meet up tomorrow morning and we'll do a podcast interview? And my world just changed. And it was just excitement of, an opportunity that you I just didn't expect, especially from just a simple connection. I felt something about her that, just really resonated with me. And as a result, we ended up hitting it off. We connected. And then we just wanted to kind of keep in touch. And then we became friends. And then we were on, I was on her podcast multiple times. I joined her summer skin camp. And my mom has done a consultation with her. Like, we were family friends at this point. And it was just in the last, couple of weeks, we were like, why don't we just do something big with this? Because
We
it's
were
kind of,
collaborating so much anyways, right?
yeah, it was a
When you
no-brainer.
first interviewed me for your podcast, I was like, whoa, this chick is asking me the best questions I've ever been asked. And I'd been interviewed by, some of the biggest names out there and health and wellness icons. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is this girl such, this woman, really fun, charismatic, able to ask me really tough questions and get great answers from me? And of course, it's because you have a background in journalism.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I did study journalism. I went to school for it. I was an English major and I worked in public radio for the entirety of my college career. Then I went into an FM radio station and I did the graveyard shifts and I was the man on the street, doing tons of reporting for about 2 years after college. I got really burnt out, honestly. It's a really tough career. I commend the journalists out there who are putting their lives on the line to report on some very important topics in the world. But for me, I just wanted a little bit more creative liberty in what I was talking about. And so I kind of put that career on hold for almost a decade. I dabbled in a lot of different things. And then I finally found my passion, which came in the form of biohacking. And it did start with Dave. And I went down the whole rabbit hole of starting with the bulletproof and kind of manifesting into so many different avenues of spirituality, meditation, grounding, etc. And from there, I developed my channel. And so I do have that journalistic instinct. And I assure you, to everyone listening, I will bring that into my questions and kind of the research I do because it's my passion and it's just sort of ingrained in me. It's like you can't unlearn what you've learned. And those were the tactics that I learned at a very young and vulnerable age. And so that's kind of what makes me a little bit unique in this sense. I don't have any medical credentials, certainly not. And in fact, I hated math and data. I know Rachel is a nerd beyond belief. Don't let that blonde hair fool you. But I have recently gotten into obsessing about data because it's A, becomes so much more accessible, and B, it's so much easier to interpret when you actually have like you're making correlations and you're seeing changes and results from things that you're doing. So I am like a big proponent of taking data in your own hands and really kind of assessing it, massaging it, and thinking about it. And if you want help on, how to get started with interpreting your data, you can always reach out to me and I'm happy to kind of walk you through some of that.
yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, send us an email, info@beautyandthebiohacker.com. And you can also learn a little bit more about us at beautyandthebiohacker.com. So I kind of have fallen into biohacking because a lot of the people that work with me online that book one-on-one sessions, they're biohackers themselves. So they've biohacked the inside. And they're like, wait, I still have skin issues, saggy skin, brown spots, redness, large pores, and they're wanting to learn more. So what I started to discover about the sort of community of biohackers is that, hey, these are some pretty rad, forward-thinking individuals that care about their health. They're not going to be like 99% of the population that's going to cruise through eating garbage food, leading a lifestyle that is going to make them sick and not live a very long, productive life. And a lot of the people that I meet with who are biohackers, they have a mission and they are here to do some pretty rad work. They have crazy long hours and they need to optimize their recovery. So it's so cool blending the beauty and the biohacking together. And so the mission of Beauty and the Biohacker is pretty cool because Katie and I, we were talking about our missions and our values and what's important to us. And we are in alignment. We are here to help you unpack the various different body, mind, spirit, and energy practices to help you become your brightest, radiant, and most effective and productive version of yourself. And yeah, Katie, what's your take on our mission together here at Beauty and the Biohacker?
Absolutely. Basically, we want you to kick ass and look good while doing it. But I mean, all joking aside, we are here to be an educational resource. Both Rachel and myself are kind of these innate educators at heart. I almost went to school for education. I love to be able to teach people about things that they don't necessarily know, that maybe go outside the cultural norms, that make you question your own beliefs, because I think it's so important for us to always be educating ourselves. Some of the centenarians who live the longest do so because they never stop learning. And so I think at the core foundation of what we're doing here at Beauty and the Biohacker is we are going to provide you with transparency and honesty, and we're going to bring on guests that are going to make you really kind of aware of everything going on in the world, from skincare to tech products and microbiome health and just everything under the sun that really envelopes beauty, biohacking, and the health and wellness industry. So there is going to be so many amazing guests on this podcast, and you can expect a lot from some of our future episodes. Am I right, Rachel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I've already had the pleasure of connecting with some of the top health and wellness icons out there, and they are on board with joining us here on the Beauty and Biohacker journey. So stick with us. We're going to be bringing the biggest names in the space of health and wellness and biohacking right here to you. This is going to be your best resource at this time to combine both the beauty and biohacking, looking good and feeling good. And this is super exciting because Katie and I, we have a lot of fun hanging out. Katie brings the very type A analytical journalist side to things, and I really bring the body, mind, spirit, energy layers and practices that I see my most vibrant and radiant clients doing all over the world. And I work with some pretty high achieving individuals. You'd know a lot of them if I dropped their names, but sorry, I can't. That's private and confidential. And what we're going to share here is educational information. Like you mentioned, learning's been a passion of mine. That's why after nursing, I didn't quite feel finished. I wanted to go on and get my my MD, but really just fell into this love of skin and aesthetics. But I teach other physicians and nurses internationally as well. So if you have any questions about that, just reach out. I'm happy to point you in the right direction for my rejuvenationtraining.com offerings also. So take in mind that what you're going to learn here is educational information, not medical advice. We are going to have some amazing speakers that are going to be offering some amazing products and options for you to then take and incorporate into your lifestyle. It's really important for you to know that before you make any lifestyle modifications, or if you think you have a health condition, you need to check in with a licensed physician. Take to your physician some of the things that you're learning here. You never know. It might end up opening up their eyes to this incredible world of biohacking and very forward-thinking, health-conscious individuals to kind of trickle outwards. We're in the age of information and expansion, so let's all do this together. Some of the options and products that are recommended here on the podcast that Katie and I love and use ourselves, when you purchase them through the different codes and links, it does then help to support our channel. So we are so grateful for each and every one of you to, be excited about all the things we're going to get into. Again, these are pieces of the puzzle to help you age impossibly well from the inside and out.
Absolutely. And one last thing I think I want to address is the fact that we are two females living in different countries, but we are going to bring some awareness and some new voices to the space of biohacking. But we are welcoming all voices, and we're going to have men on, and we're going to talk about men's health, and we're going to talk about women's hormone health. And so, what you can really expect, I think, will apply to so many different people. So, stick around. We have so much to offer. We've got some great guests already booked in the lineup. And we've got some great products that we're actually actively trying ourselves, and we'll report back and we'll be fully transparent on how these things are working for us. We both have our Aura rings, and, we both have our medical grade skincare. And so we'll be kind of giving you like little tips and tricks about how we take care of ourselves as well in the process. So we are so excited for you guys to join us.
I know. And the funny thing is that Katie and I haven't actually met in person yet. So that is definitely something for you guys to look forward to when we actually get a chance to meet in person, which I honestly have a feeling is going to be once we can travel again. It's going to be at a really big event, and we're going to be able to share this moment with a lot of you guys that have decided to take this journey with us. So we really want to include you on this journey. You can find us on all platforms, Beauty and the Biohacker, beautyandthebiohacker.com. Also, one other thing to know is that I'm Canadian, and in Canada, we are a little bit more conservative. Americans are you guys are willing to try a little bit more and are really looking for more forward-thinking, healthy information online. The caveat to that is that a lot of information you might be trying to find online, you're unable to because it's literally not being shown to you. So what a lot of us in the space here now are doing are basically sending out that exclusive information through our newsletter. So you can register for the newsletter at beautyandthebiohacker.com, and we can share things on there as well as through virtual online summits. And this is when we can smash other health experts in various fields together to give you the most current research-backed, up-to-date information on all things beauty and biohacking.
Yeah. And so what I encourage everybody to do is subscribe to this podcast. Please leave us a review and let us know what you guys want to see in future episodes, because this is what we're here for. We're here for you. We want to tailor the content and the speakers that we're bringing on to what you guys are motivated by and interested in. So we welcome your feedback, and let's rock and roll.
We cannot wait to take this journey with you all tuning in. Be sure to leave us information on, insight into what you've experienced as well. Communicate with us, reach out. We're checking our DMs, we're checking our email. So send us a direct line, info@beautyandthebiohacker.com. The podcast review section is great too, because we're going to hit new and notable. We're going to break some pretty sweet records in the space of women in the beauty and biohacking world. Obviously, a lot of people listening are going to be, men, women, and everyone in between. So this information is for everybody. By the way, a lot of men are really into this stuff, the skin stuff, because most of my celebrity clients are actually men. And men actually, interestingly enough, have never been shown the nuances to skincare. So if you're a guy, don't tune out because you hear the word beauty. Trust me, it's going to be focused to guys too.
Love it. Well, until next time, we can't wait to dive into some more stuff with you guys. And thank you for tuning into our first episode of Beauty and the Biohacker. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Rachel Varga. We'll see you guys in the next episode.